Hello everybody, it's Tas and welcome back to my channel. Today I am building Cerulean City. This is from Leaf Green and Fire Red, the Pokemon game, arguably my favorite one, and I've been slowly going through and building all of the different cities and towns from the game. I started with Pallet Town and then I moved forward. I went through like a whole book that kind of told you what you were supposed to do, and I've just been going through the towns in order based on what that told me, because I haven't played the game in a long time, and we are on to Cerulean City. If you want to see the other towns and cities that I have built, including Viridian City, Cerulean City, Pallet Town, I will be linking it at the end of this video. I'm not sure if I have a playlist going for that. I'm kind of like out of whack and out of place right now because I've been away from YouTube for an entire week, and that's something that hasn't happened to me since I started my channel. Even when I had my week-long break when I lost power, I still managed to get videos up for a couple of days out of the time when I didn't have any power. And so this is a little bit weird for me to just like take a week-long break and jump back into it. I feel like a lot of YouTubers take breaks every once in a while, but I haven't gotten to the point where I'm burnt out and feel like I need to take a break for any reason. So I haven't taken a break, and it's kind of weird to come back to it after a few days. I've had a lot of stuff going on in my life personally, and I feel like I'm going to talk about it a little bit in this video, but it's always like a struggle about what you want to share and what you feel like you should share, especially because a lot of what happened and like why I wasn't around for a week has to do with other family members, and it's always like, okay, do I share what's going on because it involves other people, or do I just kind of like keep quiet about it? I don't know. I'm probably going to end up talking about it. So I have been really enjoying this series. I want to say that I saw the trailer, and if you haven't seen it already, go on Pokemon's Twitter or the Nintendo page if you are a Pokemon fan. They are making 2 games for the Nintendo Switch called Pokemon I Choose You Pikachu and I Choose You Eevee, and I am definitely 100% going to be buying it. I knew when the Switch came out, I didn't buy one, I do not own a Switch, but I knew when it came out that a Pokemon game was what was going to make me want to purchase, and I'm definitely going to get it. I don't think it comes out until like October, but I'm hoping and really crossing my fingers that I could possibly stream on Twitch with it. And I know there's like a lot of licensing things with Nintendo, so I'm going to try and figure it out. But when the game comes out, I'd really, really like to stream on Twitch. I know I'll already be streaming by the time that game comes out, so I'm hoping for that to be the case and just like make it maybe like a Twitch exclusive series. I'm not really sure, but I'm excited for it. If you haven't seen the trailer, go watch it. If you have and you're a Pokemon fan, let me know what you think. I'm very excited for all of the different features and things that are going to be in it. It's definitely going to get me back into Pokemon Go as well. I was really heavy into it. I stayed heavy into that a lot longer than probably most people did. And I deleted it recently, but I still kept my files and everything. I kept my account in case I ever wanted to get back into it. And it looks like there's going to be a feature in that game that includes Pokemon for Pokemon Go, so I will most likely be jumping back into that, even though it seems like a dying trend. I'm not even really sure who plays it, but I have heard that there's some statistic like Pokemon Go makes like $2 million a day based on sales, so clearly people are still playing it. I don't know if it's maybe just in the US it's died and other countries not so much. But yeah, this is Cerulean City. I do it square for square, so I try to make it as exact as possible. I will say, based on my memory, because like I said, this video was filmed over a week ago, I think that this one is the furthest off from the actual image that I was going off of. It just wasn't translating into Sims perfectly, so there's a couple of things that like don't line up the way that they should, but I was a little bit disappointed in myself about that too, because all of my other ones are like literally square for square identical to the ones in the game. This one, I don't remember what happened, but I was going through it and it just wasn't flowing properly, so I did what I could, and I still like it. It still definitely resembles it. I'll flash pictures here and there of what the city actually looks like, Cerulean City. So, you guys, yeah, I took a break from YouTube for a week. I had to travel. I already had this video filmed. I normally like film a Monday video and I will post it when I wake up on Monday morning. And this didn't end up getting posted because I like to do my audios fresh. So it didn't have an audio. I didn't have anything pre-filmed, which is a horrible habit of mine. I get like really ahead in videos and give myself time, and then I don't post, and I really need to stop doing that because I need to be like ahead. But I ended up getting a phone call from my mom, and I had to take an emergency trip back to my home state of New York, and I didn't have anything film, so I couldn't post anything. But there was like, I don't know. I don't really, like I'm saying, I don't know how much I should talk about, but it's like, I hate when I'm watching YouTubers and they're like, I'm going through stuff right now, but I really can't talk about it. It's like, just say it. Just talk about it, right? So, I don't know. I feel like I can tell you guys, but I do know that there's some people who watch my channel that are involved in my personal life or know me personally, so it'll be a little bit weird to like know that they're listening on, but hey, how are you? Basically, my mom has been with her boyfriend for, I want to say like 12 years at this point. I kept saying 10 when I was there, but I think it's 12. And I have grown up in her relationship as well because my mom and my dad split when I was like maybe 10, maybe even younger. And so she's had this boyfriend for a really long time. When you grow up for somebody that long, no matter what relation they are to you, if they're actual blood or not, they become part of your family. And so my mom and him recently split. And it's not like, I don't want to say like it's a huge deal for me because to be honest, it's really not. I am kind of weird in that way. I don't really get affected by like 99% of things that probably like affect other people because I've just been through a lot in my life and I feel like there's so many like horrible things that have happened to me that things like this just like don't really mean too much to me. Not that it doesn't mean anything at all because I don't want to say that, but it probably doesn't affect me as much as one would think. But my mom called me and she was a mess, obviously, because they've been together for 12 years and she really, really, really needed me around. I'm kind of like that person in the family that functions as like, I don't know what the word is, but I'm always the person that everybody calls for help. My sister, my mom, my dad, not so much, but he wouldn't like really reach out to help for anybody. And that's just like kind of my thing. Everybody like comes to me when there's a really big issue, and she called me and she wasn't like specifically asking me to go, and I wasn't prepared to go, so like I didn't want to go necessarily, but after talking to her, I kind of saw how bad she was and how like upset she was about it. So I had to make an emergency trip back to New York, and it was last minute. I literally left a couple of hours after I got the phone call, and I had to go because one of the big things was I had to go get all of my sister's stuff and all of my mom's stuff out of the house because my mom and her boyfriend were living together for a very long time and they had stuff together, and she didn't want to go to the house to get it, so I had to go get it. I went with like a bunch of people. It was a fiasco, as you could probably imagine. It did not go over well. Actually, the first like 20 minutes was probably fine, but then the last 10 minutes, it got really bad. Basically, I don't know, like, do I call him a stepdad? I don't know. He started to throw stuff in a pile, and I went there with a list of very specific things that I wanted, and he starts, like, throwing things in this big mounting pile, and I was, like, trying to find stuff, so I'm opening tote bins and, like, trying to look, and I can't find what I'm looking for, because as I'm looking, he's stacking more and more stuff on top. So I'm like, what do you expect me to do with all this? After, like, getting annoyed with it after a couple of minutes, because it's rude and unnecessary. Like, he knows what I'm there for. He doesn't have to act like that. So he's stacking things, and he's like, well, you brought all these people with you. You can just take everything. I don't want any of it anyways, because I did show up with, like, 4 trucks worth of people. And the reason I did that is because it's a lot to go through on your own. I'm a 22-year-old female, and I can't carry a couch out of the house by myself, so I do need other men to come with me to carry things. And I also need moral support or emotional support, because it's just a lot, and it's kind of like, not a lot of people have to do that. I feel like not a lot of, if you go through a divorce and you're a child in the divorce or the breakup, normally you're not the one in charge of getting the stuff out of the house by yourself. So I needed people there with me, and he took offense to that. And he was throwing stuff on the pile. I can't find anything. So eventually I snap, and I'm like, I'm not taking all this stuff. And my aunt was there. She's like yelling at me in my ear because it's getting like feisty. And in the last couple of minutes, I just start yelling because I can't handle it anymore. And I'm like, I'm not taking this stuff. And we end up leaving, like, not with everything that we wanted, but mostly everything we needed. And I didn't get, like, a good resolution to the whole thing. I didn't get to say goodbye or, like, say anything to him, really, and he didn't really have anything to say to me, so that was kind of a mess. And then I ended up staying in town for a couple more days to hang out with my mom. My sister was actually going to come back and live with me for a while, but she ended up not coming back. She went to go stay with her boyfriend, which is fine. and I was kind of preparing to have her around, but she won't be around, so that'll actually mean a lot of things for this channel. It'll mean that I'll get to do a lot more stuff more easily and probably pick up the pace with some of the things that I've been planning for a while, so that's good news. But yeah, that's kind of what happened and what I've been going through. It's not, like I said, it's not like a huge deal for me, but it was for my mom and for my family, and I don't know, it's a lot, I guess, and she is all alone. They've been together for 12 years. Can you imagine, like, being with somebody for that long and then just all of a sudden not having them anymore? And it took place over the span of, like, a day or two. So somebody that's been in your life that long and then all of a sudden you just don't have them anymore. And I can understand that aspect of it because I have had, like, friends that I've grown up with for years and years, and then all of a sudden you get in a fight and you never speak again. So in a very loosely related way, I can understand, but I've never had to experience that myself. I've been with Nate for 5 years now. We just had our 5-year anniversary in May. He's like my first real boyfriend. I had a couple of boyfriends before him, but maybe not any that you would consider like real relationships. I don't want to offend anybody who watches my channel who is in high school, but I had some high school boyfriends, and now that I'm older, I wouldn't consider them to be, like, real relationships, although you definitely can have a real relationship in high school, because I've seen it. Actually, that's not even true, because I met Nate in my sophomore year. We just didn't go to high school together, or junior year. We didn't go to high school together, so I didn't consider us, like, a high school relationship, but I guess we kind of are, aren't we? I don't know. But yeah, can't really relate, but also, yeah, I guess it was, like, a traumatic thing. I don't really know. I don't function well, like, I don't get affected by things probably the way that I should. I can't, like, express that enough, and I'm hoping at some point that, because if you watch, like, some of my more personal videos, you know that on a very rare occasion, I will post a storytime video, and I want to post more of them, but a lot of my stories are very dark and, like, not funny, and I don't know if that's entertaining. I'm trying to, like, possibly post more funny videos first, and then get to the point where I am posting some more personal, darker stories, because I feel like at that point people might care a little bit more. I don't know. Not that I care if anybody cares, because I honestly don't, but I think that if I just come out with all these, like, really sad, horrible, depressing stories, all of a sudden people are gonna be like, are you okay? And I honestly am, so I don't know. But that's Cerulean City, and that's what's been going on in my life. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. And yeah, what do you think of the city? It will be available for download on the gallery under my origin ID, theallegedsimmer, all one word. And thank you guys all so much for watching. I'm so happy to be back. All of my social media will be linked down in the description box below. You can check me out on everything and anything. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it, because it really helps me out. Hit that little bell icon below, turn on post notifications so you can get updated every single time that I post. Also, if you enjoyed this video, you should subscribe. I do stuff like this all the time. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will talk to you all next time.